Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, Samurai Jack, and Adventure Time, among others. I'm Justin Cummings, and today I'm joined by Michelle Anderer.
Hey!
Today, Michelle and I will be discussing episode 6, I believe chapter 97, of the newest season of Samurai Jack. You can find this podcast and all of our Samurai Jack and other podcasts at overlyanimated.com or by searching Overly Animated on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher. And to begin, what a hell of an episode.
Seriously, though.
This was something special, just cameos galore, and wow, this was just all over the place, but all good places. Like, these were all good places we went.
Yes.
Just a lot of different directions. Very fast. Michelle, what are your initial thoughts on this?
I really liked this episode. This, I think, might be one of my favorites. Just because, like, we get to follow Ashi through, like, seeing all these, I'm assuming, reoccurring characters, and getting more and more, like, credence to the whole, like, Samurai Jack's, like, an okay dude. Look at all these people he helped. And her, like, kind of coming into her own. Even getting a whole new outfit, which I was not expecting, but it looked amazing on her, so good job, Ashley, good job. I was a big fan of this episode. What about you?
I really enjoyed this. This definitely felt almost like a love letter to the show, and it was weird, because it almost felt like a flashback, like a clip show episode of, like, look at all the good Samurai Jack did as we get ready for the final battle of Haku, but it felt organic, right? Because this was Ashi kind of like, I think Ashi kind of stood in for the audience in this episode, because this was Ashi seeing, like, all the various things Jack has done. And so to someone who maybe didn't see the original show, this is us quickly seeing so much of what Ashi did, or what Jack did. And I really like the execution of that arc. Ashi's character growth was really interesting. The Jack stuff was strange, but really, really solid. And God, I love Scaramouche. Like, I never thought we'd see him again. I never thought he'd come back.
We spent a fair amount of the episode with him. Yeah, just oh my God.
Tom Kenny being Tom Kenny for a good, 7 minutes probably?
Are we gonna address the fact that he said the thing like nobody expected him to say, though we know that the rating is what it is for this show now?
So let's just get it out of the way. when we see the head on the body, like, my thought is, what kind of head does this guy have? Like, what's going on here?
It reminded me of, like, in Beetlejuice, when that one guy was, like, shrinking everyone's heads. I feel like somebody put a curse on him.
And then, when he takes his head off, when he pulls off the head, I look at that, and my first thought is, that is male genitalia.
That was not my first thought.
I looked at it, I
never thought they would go there.
Well, no, I'm like, is that what they're trying to make that look like?
Yeah, I guess they were, yeah. It was
and then as he walks away, just freaking out of nowhere, that guy was a freak. His head looked like a penis.
Yeah, and I was like, ooh!
And I'm like, did he just actually say penis?
That felt like more of a big deal than all the blood we've seen in this show so far. For whatever reason, like, saying penis out loud and having that be, like, okay in the show totally rocked my world for a second.
And the thing is, like, I frequently know, like, the rating system of, like, what's allowed per rating. I pride myself on knowing a lot about this as a communication major.
Okay.
Specializing in electronic media, I pride myself on knowing what's allowed under certain ratings, what's not. PG-13, you can have one F-bomb. PG can get away with some damns occasionally. Some PG shows will say damn, some won't. All the different stuff. The one, I don't know what is the rule for penis. I don't know the rule. Because, on one hand, it is the scientific term. It is anatomy. It's not vulgar. It's not slang. But you never hear it.
Yeah, you never hear it, which is why it was such a surprise.
And even when you do hear reference to male genitalia, it's junk, crotch, dingleberry.
Yeah. It's not the legit word.
I think I've never heard, I cannot remember the last time I've heard the word penis in a TV show. Maybe like Family Guy. And even then they usually say something else. But just straight up.
Yeah.
To quote Family Guy in the FCC song, if you find yourself with some young sexy dame, you're gonna have to do her with your dingling because you can't say penis.
Yeah.
So that, I think, shocked a lot of people. That was...
I mean, I think it's kind of great. I just, like, really wasn't expecting it.
I adored it. Like, I was
once I was just like, oh my god. But I was just, like, happy the show, like, did it. I just, like, never would have expected
and, like,
it.
you could tell Tom Kenny, like, in his delivery was almost like, can I really say this?
He was happy for a week after he read that, like, at the studio, just, and he's probably like, I gotta say penis on a show, yeah! Like, he probably had to keep it quiet, but he was probably bursting with excitement that he gotta do it, because how many people have that opportunity?
I mean, Seth MacFarlane does it fairly regularly, but, apart from Seth MacFarlane...
show, like, I feel like it's a different, you know...
I think that's gonna be the moment that really cements, like, this is a different season. Because even though it's technically not like a quote-unquote bad word, you would never hear penis in a TVY7 show.
Yeah, no, not in the cartoon.
I don't know the rules, like... But the show's just like, what the hell? Like, why not? And they got some language in there. There wasn't a lot of blood in this episode, but there was some language.
There was some language. I noticed some dams.
There were a couple of dams.
I was like, oh.
I did not realize that was Keegan-Michael Key as Do Samurai.
Oh, was he the original The Samurai voice?
I don't know, but I was just happy to see Keegan-Michael Key. I would imagine
yes. Yeah, I'm just gonna assume so.
We had just some great characters in this episode. Just a lot of, it was a fun look at the world, honestly.
Yeah.
We're gonna break it down. I've got 2 messages this time. I've got an email, and because one of our friends couldn't find my email, I got a Facebook message I'm going to read as well.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I don't encourage that as the way to reach out to me, but I applaud the dedication.
Yeah.
For those seeking to tell me things, Justin@overlyanimated.com is how you can reach out to me. You can also find the link to my Twitter and my Tumblr on the Overly Animated website. All the contact stuff is there, so if you're ever wondering how to let us know something, all your contact stuff is on overlyanimated.com. But let's start with this Facebook message, because I was quite happy. This comes from one of our patrons, Alex.
Ah, yes, Alex.
Got to record a podcast with Alex recently. That was quite enjoyable.
Oh, nice, yeah.
I don't know if that'll be out by the time this is up, but just be on the lookout for that, fans.
Be on the lookout.
Alright, so I said, this is my favorite episode of the season so far. First episode that I had a sudden desire to watch again. So many reintroductions to what I consume are other fan favorites like the Scotsman, who we're guessing I shouldn't have called a one-off last week.
Oh my god, okay, we have to stop for a second. So many people came out of the woodwork to tell me, and also you, that Scotsman was a reoccurring character for at least 4 episodes of the original series. Yes, at least 4, maybe more. And they were very upset that we thought that it was just a 1-episode thing, so we are sorry.
I apologize, fans.
We have not seen much of the show.
Episode The Scotsman is very, very famous. That was the one that I knew him from.
If things like that happen again.
Yes,
we're totally open to that.
We realize we will probably miss things. My apologies. I'm very sorry, fans. I'm sorry, Michelle, you had to deal with that.
That's okay. I was impressed people had strong feelings. That made me appreciate the show even more in a way that people felt strong enough. They're like, no! You fools! He was in more than one! It's a big deal! And I was like, oh, okay. I'm glad to know this.
So we saw other people who I'm not going to guesstimate the number of episodes they were in,
yeah,
I'm going to be wrong.
They're reoccurring.
Just previously seen characters at some point.
Previously seen characters.
Alright, Keegan-Michael Key as Do Samurai was a highlight, and the town visited in the middle gave me vibes of that floating city and the wand flashback of Korra. Beautiful setting.
Oh.
This is the part I think you're going to love.
Okay.
But star of the episode, and I think the season, my girl, Ashi.
Yeah!
This is pretty much her log date, and I loved it. Just seeing her slowly earn more respect for Jack's work to the point of feeling comfortable calling him a friend was so gratifying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Agreed. The part of the episode that worried me slightly, and makes me scared to go on Tumblr, of course fan artists will be depravedly excited to know that Ashi has been naked the entire time, although it does make for some great... Yes.
But I mean, so the suit was made out of, like, ash or some kind of molten
So it wasn't suit, is the thing. It's like...
Was it her skin?
It's like body art, I guess. Like, just a thick layer of ash.
Okay. I mean, does that count as her being nude, though? It's still,
the fan artist will assume yes. You know how fandoms work, Michelle.
Not all fandoms should be created equal, though.
You know that every fandom has its corner.
This is true.
This podcast gets an explicit rating. You know the 34th rule of the internet, Michelle. The 34th rule of the internet.
What is that? I actually
this is an
don't.
Explicit rating. I can say this. Rule 34 states, if it exists, there is porn of it.
Oh, that's what that is! I didn't know there was like a name for it. Okay.
Rule 34.
Yeah. That's true.
No matter what it is, even if it is, in my personal favorite example, Africa and South America, the physical geographical countries, it exists. Somewhere. Okay. So, those people will be very gratified at this episode. But Alex goes on to say, it does make for some great symbolism when she cleanses herself of the ash of Aku in the river. That was a great scene.
Yeah, it was. It was a really great scene.
Also, in all caps, Grasssuit Ashi is an Amazon princess of my dreams.
Oh my god, yes, though. I totally agree with Alex on that.
And that final Jack line has to be a tease for the shippers.
I remember last week when we were like, they're probably not gonna go that direction. Like, you'd feel really rushed, but like, I'm actually a little concerned that something might happen now. What do you think, Justin? In terms of like,
before we talk my shipping thoughts, I do want to finish the message.
Oh yeah.
Secondary star, Scaramouche. Tom Kenny is a god and gets some great lines talking penis.
Yes! Talking penis. That's gonna be the hashtag for this episode.
Hashtag I think it's talking
only
penis.
Fair. Mm-hmm.
Alright, so my thoughts on shipping.
Yeah.
This episode made me want to warm up to it a little bit now that Ashi has actual character.
Okay.
This episode made me think that there's hope of it being done right. However, I still don't want it.
I don't want it. I don't think, honestly, like, if he aged and he looked like an old grandpa, like, I feel like people wouldn't be so into the idea of the ship. We need to remember that he is a lot older. And I think if he looked like a grandpa, people would not be as willing to ship them. But, like, I don't know if something's going on, but I'm starting to get, like, a little feeling, so I'm
waiting for it to be completely subverted, honestly.
Yeah, that would be so nice.
Can
we just hope that that's what happens and it doesn't, like, confirm our fears?
4 more episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a lot of time.
It is almost half, we've only gotten 6 so far, and look what's happened, so.
Oh.
Like, a lot can be done in 4 episodes of the show.
This is true.
We could get more Scaramouche!
Yeah, please, can we have more Scaramouche? I mean, we're definitely getting more Scotsman ghosts and daughters, probably.
Jacko!
So, more Scaramouche too. I like how he went from being the number 1 to being, like, 3rd.
Yeah.
In terms of Aku's, like, top peeps.
It was every line from Tom Kenny is just so well delivered.
How does he talk like that? I'm, like, seriously impressed. That's a voice I've never heard him put on before.
I keep throwing this out to Dylan, and I want to do it so bad. I want to do a podcast of Fantasy Survivor of Tom Kenny versus Tara Strong.
Oh my god, that would be
Tom
so
Kenny
intense.
voices versus Tara Strong voices. Scaramouche must be in this season now. Because, like, it was SpongeBob Ice King are the 2 must-haves, and now
they
Scaramouche.
Sound pretty similar, which is why I think I enjoy this voice so much more.
To what?
Cause like Ice King and SpongeBob sound like kind of the same, like in a lot of ways. Like it's the same like general register. Like you hear Ice King and you can kind of like see where SpongeBob came from it, and vice versa. But like Scaramouche, like until you told me it was him, I thought it was definitely like some other random guy.
No, that is the man, the myth, the legend, Tom Kenny. I don't know how he does it.
I don't know. But I'm wondering if like some kind of technology is involved, if that's literally just like all him and he just like has really good control over his voice. If so, like, well done, sir. You have my, I'm impressed.
Your admiration.
My admiration, yes.
I want to see if I can find the episode listed on IMDb to see if there were any other interesting, what's the word? Cameos. Anything like that. IMDb. So as I'm pulling this up, where do you think we're going now that we have good Ashi?
Well, we know where we're going. They told us. He's like, gotta get my sword back now. So, like, I'm assuming that's what the next episode is all about, getting the sword.
Okay, so I may have said this wrong in previous episodes, which I'm scared that I did.
What is it?
Grey Griffin is not Ashi, she is the mother.
Oh, then who's Ashi?
Tara Strong.
Oh, seriously? Oh, that's great, though. Bring back your stellar VAs from the past decade or two. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, this episode just had some great... I think Keegan-Michael Key was the only other really big name. Which, I mean, they have a great cast, like, honestly.
Yeah,
this show just has a good cast. So this was a good episode for casting. Definitely, we're going to get the sword. Do you think we get the sword next episode or in 2 episodes? Or more?
I am kind of wondering if they even get the sword.
Ooh, you think we're not going to get a sword at all?
Okay, so I have a good friend who thought... What's the sigh for? You don't know what I'm gonna say.
Spoilers.
No, it's not spoilers. I asked her, my friend Wicked Geek, who's seen the original series, to like catch me up because I felt bad because I like didn't know anything about the original series, and she said what happened with Aku the first time was like the dad actually was the one to defeat him, and he asked it's the thing that nothing on Earth can destroy Aku, right? Nothing man-made. So he asks the gods literally to help him.
Right.
And so they give him the sword and he defeats him, but then Aku comes back somehow. I'm not sure how he comes back. He comes back, but they planned for that anyway. So then they had Jack as the backup and they trained him in all these different kinds of fighting techniques. So my thinking is if he can't get the sword, if Jax is, good a person and as, I don't know, pure of heart or whatever as his dad was, couldn't he just ask the gods for a new weapon and take him out that way? He doesn't need the sword. He just needs something that the gods can
you want a
have,
literal
right?
Deus Ex Machina.
No, if his dad already did it, then it's not, coming out of nowhere. It's a pre-established thing that worked before,
True.
sort of. And maybe there's a reason the sword didn't kill him the first time. Maybe he needs something even specialer. Or maybe it comes from inside him. Yeah. Who knows? I just don't think the sword's the only way to get him at this point, knowing that.
Okay, so
it would be a good twist, right? If he's been going on and on about how he lost the sword and it turns out he doesn't need a sword, he can do it in another way. I think that's kind of satisfying.
If we actually do kill Aku, who does it? Jack or Ashi?
I mean, I assume Jack.
Why?
Because, Aku's, actually afraid of Jack. He, thinks he can kill him, right? That's why I put him in the portal, right?
I mean,
in the beginning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be Ashi, but, the whole series has been focusing on Jack, so, do you think fans would be okay with Ashi being the one to take him out in that case?
I'm not sure, but I also think that, Gendy wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Gendy seems like the kind of guy who would focus more on the story than the fan opinion.
Yeah, and it could be a situation where, when Zuko was facing off against Azula, Katara's kind of the one that takes her out. It's not Zuko. And I actually really liked that. I thought that was great. So maybe they can do it in a way that still feels, very satisfying. If that's the
technically speaking, Peridot's the one that beat Jasper, if we're being technical.
Yeah!
But Smokey beat Jasper.
So, yeah.
So it's I think it's open. I think it'll be very interesting when we do finally come down to that battle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we have another email to read. This one is from frequent commenter Steve.
Yes.
Well, last episode, I thought Ashi accepting Jack came too fast. This time, I thought all of these people just trusting Ashi and taking her word that she is Jack's ally was a bit quick.
That was interesting.
Scaramouche, he is still alive. He is hilarious, and it is going to be trouble if his info does get through to Aku. And I'm digging Ashi's new look, and this is the first time that I think Jack and Ashi is a real possibility, though I think one of them's going to die by the end of the series.
What? Okay, no.
I want that soundbite.
What?
You screaming, what?
No.
Every time I'm with Dylan now, and he says something, I just want to go, what? What?
You can. I mean, if you want. It's your choice.
I don't know how to record. I don't know how to do that, Michelle, so I just need you to come on every podcast with me and do this.
You to slowly warm up to it. I don't think that would really piss me off because I feel like.
Wait, if I used your what or if?
No. If one of them died,
Oh, okay.
I don't care about the other thing. No, if Jack or Ashi died, I feel like that'd be so obnoxious because like that. I feel like that happens a lot in shows, and they're like, we want to like make this finale really dramatic,
but
so you're really good. Like people have to sacrifice something. People don't always have to die.
Does
and
that happen
like,
a lot in Western animation?
Yes.
Name one time the main character died in Western animation.
Not the main character, but like that like person that's been with them the whole time.
Okay, if Jack dies, would you be okay with that?
Yeah.
You want to say no, but it's yes.
I just don't want Ashi to die. I just really don't want her to die. Because I feel like the side characters dying, especially if they're women, like it's just like I've seen it enough. And I don't think it's been done well enough most of the time where it's not literally just a plot thing. Like, killing them off literally just to further the plot along. And I don't think that's an acceptable... I think that's just kind of, like, lazy at this point.
My theory, Jack dies, Ashi takes up the mantle of the samurai. And we end with Samurai Ashi.
Okay. If Aku's gone, though, like, what will be the impending threat?
Well,
or
nothing.
Do you mean just like a lot of other little people making trouble?
Well, no, just be like, well, we still need an avatar after Ozai's defeated.
Yeah, that's true.
She'll basically, like, Jack will either go back to his own time or die, and then Ashi will kind of take over as the samurai.
If that happens, the next 4 episodes are going to have to focus on a lot of, like, her learning stuff from Jack, though, because he's probably got a lot of wisdom to impart if she's going to take up the mantle.
Well, they've proven they're willing to give her agency and truly give her an arc. They've done a really great job.
Mm-hmm.
This episode especially.
Yeah, I mean, this episode especially for sure.
Poor baby Ashi. Can we talk about that for, like, 2 seconds? Like,
being thrown into the, like...
volcano darkness, like...
How did that not kill them? How did that not burn their body permanently? Like, that's what I was like to see. When she was rubbing that stuff up, I thought she's going to be, like, horribly burned underneath.
No, she's beautiful.
Field. She was fine, yeah.
Completely
her
gorgeous.
skin was pristine.
And I'm sitting here wondering, okay, TV-14, DLV, what are we allowed to do here, Gendy? Like, what's the cutoff of what you're allowed to show? Because you're pushing it, Gendy.
I mean, honestly, though, like, in terms of seeing her body, like, her, whatever the, like, ash was, like, it was pretty skin tight anyway, so, like, for me, it didn't feel like a huge, like, big thing.
Let me tell you a story, Michelle. 2 years ago, I unfortunately saw Jupiter Ascending in theaters. It's one of the biggest regrets in my life.
Yeah, I've heard it's amazingly bad.
It is garbage. It's pretty. It's a beautiful, beautiful film.
Beautiful
visual effects. It is
so
beautiful crap. It is the prettiest pile of crap you will ever see in your life, Michelle. I stand by that.
Watch it then.
Oh, it's garbage. It's hilariously bad. It's so bad it's funny.
Nude happen? Is this where that's going?
Well, the mother, yes, this is what's going. The mother is like super old. She goes in like this fountain of youth and comes out, and we see her come out like 20-something looking, and we see her bare ass for like 5 seconds.
Okay.
And this is a PG-13 film, and I'm sitting next to my father, and I'm looking at him, and I'm looking back at the screen, and I'm like, I did not realize a PG-13 film could do this. So, with TV-14 rating, as she's starting to come out of the water, I'm thinking, is this literally Jupiter Ascending? Am I about to see bare ass? And then
we only saw like a little bit of the crack, I think. It wasn't that bad.
Waterfall at the last second, but I was wondering for like 2 seconds there, like, Gendy, are you just gonna flat out just keep her going? Because, I mean, I think you can, technically.
Keep her going.
Because I'm not sure what he's allowed to do in that.
They didn't make it too titillating, because I don't think that's the point of Ashi.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
But
we cannot deny that it was an exciting scene.
It was a wonderful scene.
Like, oh, a little water. Okay, it's coming off of her butt. Okay, this is happening.
But it was a great scene. It was a great, it was a great moment.
Scene. The whole waterfall and jumping in and her just like, feeling released, or reborn, whatever you want to say the imagery was. Like, it was really nice.
A lot of this show is me wondering, what are the boundaries for TV-14 and what's Gendy gonna do?
After the penis, like #penis, like
it's not even like
seems possible, right?
Like, I know you can't say penis on a TV. Like, it makes total sense to me. My question was not, can you say it in a TV-14 show? My wondering is, how low a rating can you say it? Like, how big a deal is him saying penis, and also it was just out of nowhere. And that's the moment, like, for all the blood that we got in earlier episodes, that's, I think, the moment that's going to keep people from being able to show their kids this show. Because America is so...
Yeah, we had this discussion before. Like, America's so weird about sex stuff, but not
like
about violence.
Blood? Who cares? Yeah, we were discussing whether or not we were going to get a sex scene. I remember this now.
Yeah.
We had Tom Kenny, one of America's most beloved voice actors. We had the mayor of Townsville, the Ice King, SpongeBob say penis.
Good shot.
Anything can happen.
He can die, like, happy now, knowing that he got this.
I just want to hear Tom Kenny say that line in all of his different voices.
Oh my god.
Powerpuff Girls.
I would... Oh, no.
That man's head looked like a penis.
Oh,
I have a terrible mayor voice, but you can imagine.
We can all imagine. Wow.
I want this now, like, just in all the voices. That moment, I know we've talked about the penis moment a lot. I feel like we could literally...
it's looking really hot, but that penis line, though. It just came back there against our will.
Is this officially the penis podcast?
Do you think we could call it that, or do you think Dylan would have a fit?
We can't title it that officially, but hashtag penis podcast.
Though. People would be intrigued by the title and then be severely disappointed when they found out it was for Samurai Jack. Or actually, maybe they'd be delighted. I don't know.
This is probably the only time you and I will ever get to sit here and say the word penis as much as we have tonight.
Probably.
Like, the first time, you were giggling a bit. I caught those giggles. And now it's just like, penis.
We're embracing it now.
I know. It's just, it's commonplace now. It's normal. I think if we were to not say penis, it'd be weird.
Yeah, it would. It wouldn't feel complete somehow.
So what you're saying is life's not complete without penis.
Oh, well, no. I'm not saying that.
This is what happens when A, Dylan leaves me unsupervised, and B, he gives us an explicit rating. This is the end result.
Explicit rating.
This podcast does have an explicit rating, just the Samurai Jack stuff.
What does that mean exactly? Like, can we go as far as we want with explicit, or is with explicit there more?
Technically, I could drop the F-bomb right now, and it wouldn't affect the rating. However, Dylan wants us to stay at a TV-14 range, so...
I don't really know what that is, so you're gonna have to be the...
Just please no F-bombs, Michelle.
I can do that.
That's my only line. You can say douche canoe, you can say penis, you can say damn.
Demonstrated, we can definitely say penis on here.
This is a great...
I'm sorry, this episode is so much talk about penises.
I feel like this podcast has turned into a discussion of, like...
How did this happen?
This has turned into a discourse on the discussion of genitalia in animation.
Oh, it hasn't, because it's not even been about a real person's penis. It's been about a funny man's head.
That looked like a penis. It's not even about a real penis.
Justin.
It's not even about a real fake penis.
Yeah.
Fans, if you're listening, can we get an official penis count for this podcast of how many times?
My God. I feel that would be a shameful number that we would come
under 50.
Definitely under, right? Well, maybe not between the two of us, though.
Between both of us.
I'm going to be really conscious not to say it anymore for the rest of the episode now, if someone's going to count it.
Well, we're at half an hour. I'm about ready to tap out here. I think we've milked this all we can.
No, well, yeah, with the word that will not be named, but there's so much more of the episode we should probably talk about.
What should we talk about in the episode?
Well,
the seppuku stuff!
Yeah!
I completely forgot Jack was in this episode. I was so distracted by naked Ashi and penises.
God damn it. Yes, the ending was very interesting for a reason.
Yeah, let's talk about Jack almost killing himself.
Yeah. He talked about suicide before. I mean... Yeah,
but this time he literally had the sword ready for seppuku, like...
So question, we were wondering everyone was wondering what the heck the dark horse riding dude was, and like...
He's a real ghost?
But, like, so, like, he's a ghost, and all the other ghosts in the graveyard seem to have, like, Aku's head on the top of their, like, helmets?
One of them did. I don't think all of them did.
Okay, so are they all with Aku or not?
I think they're all just ancient warriors.
Okay.
And I think it was just, like, I think they were real. I think they're real ghosts.
Yeah, I mean, because, Ashi was, like,
Or
fighting.
Ashi's also crazy.
Ashi's not crazy. I think they were real.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jack almost kills himself. We get a great speech from Ashi about him giving her hope and it saving her life, and it was a good speech.
It was a good speech.
You're like, I hate the redemption of Ashi arc. They're gonna have sex.
I love Ashi. I feel like maybe if I saw the original series, because I'm a little still like, I don't know. They're like, if he hadn't murdered the other 6 sisters, like, I'd be totally on board with the, like, Jack is, like, 100% an awesome dude who does, like, the right thing all the time. And I guess it's okay that they're not ever going to address the fact that he did still murder people. But, I don't know. I'm more interested in talking about, like, cause, like, so, what do we think the dark figure symbolizes for Jack, though? Is it, like, the looming threat of him, like, giving up? Like, is that what it is? Like, it's following him all this time because it's waiting for him to reach, like, a point where he's so devastated that he feels like he's actually failed his mission.
Yeah, I think it's a symbol. I think it's a symbol of his failure.
Yeah, okay. That makes a lot of sense in retrospect to the season so far. And
I'd be interested in to see how long the spirit has been following him. Like, has it been, 20 years, 30 years, a month? Like,
probably more than a month. He's pretty wacky, so I think it's been happening for a while.
Yeah, I'm still confused, but it was penis.
Yeah. Oh my god. Justin, you're just, like, giving them more things to count. Why would you do that?
Because I want to keep our fans mentally sharp. Michelle, they need to be kept. They come here for rigorous education.
And all they're gonna come away with is this. No, I want to stay on this. We have to talk about the actual episode. Okay. So, like, I guess he's not going to be followed by any, like, ghosts now, right?
I think that arc got resolved.
But, there's still that, like, his subconscious that always tells him horrible things.
Spirit Jack!
Yeah, Spirit Jack's there to put him down still, so...
Don't worry, Spirit Jack is still there to convince you to kill yourself. Exactly. Don't worry.
You don't need the dark figure riding the horse. You have your eternal...
This show is dark, and the amount we've contemplated suicide, like, Jack has, like... And I think this has been, honestly, a very interesting depiction, just of Jack's subconscious, and just the whole arc has been very, very interesting. Personally, I like it. There might be some people who say, like, it's exploitive, it's da-da-da-da. I think it's great. I think we're really exploring, like, what has happened to Jack, and, like, just how broken he is.
Yeah,
and I think that's really interesting.
I can only imagine what his attitude as a character is like in the original run. I imagine it was, like, a lot more, like, uplifting and, like, hopeful. But, like, you still, like, he's definitely very broken, but it's, like, it's not, like, it feels really, like, grounded. Like, it feels legit, Like, right. you can feel his weariness. You can feel, like, what it's kind of turned him into and how it's affected his choices and how he thinks about things and himself now. And I really like that. Like, if you're gonna, like, up the stakes of a character and if you're going to age them 50 years, like, this makes total sense and it feels like about where a person in his position would be. And I appreciate the show for doing that and not making it seem lighter than it might otherwise be. Cause, like, the Scotsman, I don't know, he seems pretty chill. And he was, like, hella old, and he was just, like, kind of,
Yeah, but he's also the Scotsman.
I guess, yeah. But, like, Jack's, like, really, like, this is really taking a toll on him. And I like that we're considering that consistently throughout the episodes. Like, it's not just, like, going away. Like, it's still there. It might always be there with him. But, yeah. I appreciate it.
But before we wrap up, I need to double check and make sure this is actually a 10-episode arc, because we've been talking a lot about, like, 10 episodes. I want to make sure, like, I am correct that it's only 10 episodes. So before we go, what do you think where are we going? So, do you think we're getting the sword next episode? You said no. Or do you think we're at least going to find it?
I think they're going to go on search for it. I mean, that's not fair, because we know that it's happening no matter what. I'd say 50% chance they get the sword, 50% chance they don't get the sword. Based purely on my own speculation, yeah.
50%.
50%. What about you?
Yeah. 60-40.
Wow, so we're pretty close on this one. Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay, though. Maybe that's a good thing we don't quite know what the show's gonna do.
I found out who, our boy, the Scotsman is.
You found... Oh, who the voice actor is?
That is John DiMaggio.
Are you serious?
That is.
I'm gonna have to rewatch now to see if I can get that from his voice. Wow! Okay. That makes me kind of happy for some reason.
Alright, so, currently, there are only 8 episodes listed.
Yeah, on the wiki.
Yeah, is that what you're looking at?
I'm a little cautious of 8, because it says the burgeoning relationship between Jack and Ashi. I'm like, what does that mean?
However,
you mean their wonderful friendship? Their mentor
their
and student
teamwork, like their partnership?
Their partnership, please?
Like,
it's like right there in the description, so it makes me worried that that's gonna be like a big part of the
relationships don't have to be romantic.
I know, if like, if shows teach us anything, it's if you're heterosexual and you hang out a lot with somebody of the opposite gender, chances up.
How do we know they're heterosexual?
We don't. But, I mean, we live in a society where that's, like, the default assumption until proven otherwise, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's true, so, I mean, I'm just saying, this tagline makes me a little anxious.
We will, on May 6th, we're gonna find out.
And then we're gonna have awesome Steven bomb.
Oh my gosh. So hyped.
So ready. That was a good trailer they put out.
Like that week, you and I are just gonna be burnt out between Jack, week of Steven, the penultimate Jack episode.
Oh, right.
Like, that's gonna be a heavy week for us. And that's when my exams start. Ooh.
Oh, fun. Yeah, Justin.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a full, like, sleep-deprived wacky version of Justin on for that week. That'd be fun.
You've gotten sleep-deprived wacky, Justin. It's not fun.
When?
Maybe. I think there's gonna be a podcast coming out eventually of top 5 superheroes between Andy and I. It was the 4th podcast I recorded in a row. I was done. Right. I'm just like, hello and welcome to Overly Animated.
Andy, then. He got the really tired Justin.
Well, no, it was his second one that day. Like, he had been on one, took a break, came back, and so he was like, don't worry, I got you. And we somehow pulled through.
That's good.
Alright, anything else we need to talk about with this episode, Michelle?
I did like the ravers and the singing sequence a lot.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was really awesome to me. And I really like the Samurai. Even though he's not the Samurai anymore. He's probably really cool.
Turkey carve.
Yeah.
I highly enjoyed that. So, that was this episode.
This episode.
That was the penis episode.
Okay, Justin, I swear, if you say it one more time, you're gonna have a creepy penis mailed to you. It's gonna happen. Do you really want that in your life?
There was a website. There was a website where you can literally mail someone. I'm assuming dick is allowed to be said. There's a website where you can send someone a literal bag of gummy dicks.
But that's gummy. Who wouldn't want that?
Like, if you want to send that to me, guys, I'm all for it.
No, something unpleasant. This is supposed to be
Justin Cummings and the unpleasant penis.
Oh my god. I cannot believe I didn't realize your last name.
Yeah, nope. Middle school sucked.
Oh my god!
So before we get into this, thank you so much for listening, everyone. Michelle's about to chew me out about my name. You can comment about that, penises, and everything else on overlyanimated.com. Email us. No hate mail, please, about my last name. Just support us at Patreon if you want to somehow give us money after hearing all of this at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you to all of our current patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Steve, aka Frequent Commenter Steve, and thanks as always to our Patreon executive producers, John, Ryan, Steve, and Alex. I'm scared to say this, but any last words, Michelle? Alright, thank you.
God.
Thank you. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.